I see Jesus in just about every aspect of this church, and particularly the people of this church.
About a year and a half ago, I got involved with Celebrate Recovery.
I see people doing things that are just outside of their own comfort level for the sake of Christ.
I never felt like I belonged here until Celebrate Recovery, and now I belong on Friday nights as well as Sundays.
There's just a real reaching out to the community of all ages and all social stratas, just trying to bring everyone into the love of Christ.
It's alive, it's active, it's relational, and it's growing, you know, and I understand so much more.
This church has given me great life skills as far as speaking up and standing up for what, you know, I believe in.
We came to Highland Park Community Church, and the open doors and the open arms and the welcome invitations that we experienced gave us a totally different concept about just church on Sunday. It became part of our life.
They sense a spirit here. They sense God's spirit here. People who are inclusive, that reach their hands out to other individuals who are perhaps different from them in some ways.
One of the things we really like about Highland Park is that they are a Great Commission church, and they have this church has such a heart for missions.
The first time we came as visitors, we had people from the church call on us. And one was Robin Wood, Adrian Rudkin, she's still here in the church, and they led me to Christ that night.
To be able to be a part of other people's lives and who don't know Christ and come here to Celebrate Recovery, and you see the lights come on in their eyes, and before you know it, they accept Jesus Christ into their lives, and it's just an experience you can't miss.
But fortunately, Jesus Christ is my Lord, Savior, and Redeemer. So.
The transition from CR to the actual main church, it moves very fast, and people just embrace them. That's what it's all about. You know, loving God's people.
I feel the same way about the people I'm involved with in worship arts. My friends are like my brothers and sisters, and you develop very close relationships with them, and you're there to help them when they need to be lifted up, and they're there for me when I need it as well.
This church cares about people, and I believe that's one of the reasons why it's a large and thriving church.
Some of the sharing groups really reach a level of bedrock experience where you open your heart, your mind, and some of the things that you probably are hesitant to talk about casually on the street become a most important discussion item in these sharing groups within the facility of the church.
I think meeting the needs of people right where they're at, as Highland has sought to do from its inception, is one of the main keys to our growth and to our service in our community.
I see Jesus very vividly in this church. I see Him in our worship team as they lead us in worship every morning, praising Him. I see Him in the lives of our pastors.
There's a lot of activities going on here. I do attend some Bible for women once a week, and it grows me spiritually. We also greet sometimes at the front doors, and that is most fun to see the families come bubbling in.
I call it the happiest spot in the county because people come with outstretched hands and a smile on their face, and you pretty much know that they're glad to be there.
You know, we have a very active children's ministry here.
Every single room is full on any given night with Bible studies or any form of fellowship.
We just started back our Wednesday program a couple weeks ago, and we went from about 15 second graders on Wednesday night, and this last week we saw 30, and that's in a 1 week time period. They start inviting their friends, and it just explodes, which is exciting. It's exciting to see so many children coming to know Jesus.
You know, when you pray and it's right and God's on your side, it grows. And I look at CR, how it's grown. You know, I see the hand of God there. You know, the missions program I'm heavily involved with. It's exponentially grown in the 5 years I've been here. He's all over this place.
When I think of the whole Forward in Faith program that we are currently involved in as a congregation, I can't help but be reminded of the ways in which God has continually opened doors to our congregation throughout its history.
We've done this over the years multiple times. It's just a new name for what we're doing. But people of faith have traditionally been a part of this church, and the reason why, when it started as 4 families in 1952 to a church where some 3,000 people call this their church home now. We have outgrown our current facility, which is a great problem to have. We have multiple services on the weekend, 4 services on the weekend, including Celebrate Recovery. We have multiple conflicts in timing at this particular location where multiple ministries cannot be happening at the same time just due to the size of our congregation and the different ministries that happen.
Most recently, as our leadership has been together, prayed together, and sought God's leadership for what we do to meet the increasing needs that we have for facilities development, as we've pursued that, it became very obvious to us that our best future was to relocate. And as we began that process, and then suddenly getting a gift of 25 acres of land that we had not sought, we had expressed the faith, and we'd started to move forward. And He provided the land, and that has been the impetus for us to continue in this whole process of forward in faith.
The location is not just good, it is prime real estate in Casper, Wyoming. It's on the east side of town. It borders a creek that is protected so that no other buildings can go in and around it. It has an incredible view of the mountain and is large enough in 25 acres for future expansion when we outgrow this new building, which we will.
As we step forward into the future as a congregation, God is giving us a wonderful opportunity to put feet to our faith.
When Moses walked out of Egypt into the desert with the children of Israel, that took faith. When Joshua and the priests stepped into the Jordan River, and then the Lord stopped the flow of the river so that they could get to the promised land, that took faith. Sometimes God makes us grow by testing our faith, by making us depend on Him, by taking us out of our comfort zone.
There are thousands of people yet unborn that will be impacted by this congregation in the future.
The heart of this project, primarily, as it has been throughout our church's history, is people of faith continuing to have a vision and a dream for expanded ministry.
As we were doing the dedication in the field this morning and moving forward with this, we were talking to our kids about a time when they'll be bringing their children to this worship center. And it thrills me to think of the thousands of people that over time will be impacted by the teachings and the programming of this church body.
I'm not a rich man. I don't have a lot of money, but I can still own part of this project. It can still be mine as well as anybody else's.
In these past few minutes, we've seen a lot of things and heard a lot of things from people who worship at Highland Park Community Church. There's been an overview of its ministries. You've been able to see some of the video of what our new facility is going to look like. And you've had a lot of thoughts as you've listened to what has been presented. I'd like to extend to you a challenge today, a challenge that says God would very much want you to be a part of this fellowship. God very much would want you to seek to follow Him in reaching people in this community and outward from this community for the sake of the gospel of Jesus Christ. This is a wonderful opportunity for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of families to pull together. I hope that you'll choose to be a part of that.